Hi everyone, I'm here today finally with Glenn Hall. He is the master educator of Soma Flow. Glenn and Shoshi Hall are the ones that created this therapy, and I'm so excited to have you, Glenn. Thank you for being here today.
Thank you for having me on your show.
So Glenn, I want everyone to know how amazing your therapy has been for me. Glenn's therapy has been life-changing for me. I cannot say enough about it. I've had ART, I've had Ralphing, I've had deep tissue massage, but it wasn't until you started doing what you call unwinding of the tissue that I really experienced a miraculous relief of deep myofascia alignment. Can you explain what it is, why your treatment is so much better than what I've experienced before?
Oh, it's a good question.
Thank you.
Soma Flow therapy is unique. It's a blend of Western and Eastern concepts. And as trainers in the therapy, we learn how to blend and link in to the connective tissue, which is hardened, shortened from trauma or habitual patterns that have been developed over the years. And when we blend in and link into that tissue, we support the body, we give it the right environment, and we give it a safe environment so that the body is allowed to let it go.
Yes.
And as we get in there, it releases any of the physical injury or the emotional trauma that's trapped in the tissue itself.
Yes, and we are going to get into the emotional, but I have a question for you too, because when you're saying blend into the tissue and break it up, I was experiencing so much scar tissue, chronic scar tissue. I think it was, causing blood flow loss to my head. I was suffering chronic headaches. So you're actually breaking up scar tissue, right?
Yes, it is breaking up, they call it glycation, but or cross-linking of the tissue. As we break it up there is a signal that says, no, I want to splint in there and lock it and protect it. And what happens is when it opens, the gateways of the circulation just come in there, and then it fosters a great recovery.
Absolutely great. I mean, I had a profound effect. In fact, after a 3-hour treatment, my first treatment with you was an intense 3-hour, I went home and I just cried for an hour because I was so thankful I had finally met someone that could actually help me after dealing with a 25-year-old injury. But I know part of that was an emotional release, and you did touch on that. Can you explain how that actually does release emotion?
Yeah, that's a thing that most people don't think about, but your body literally is a frozen piece of history. And day in and day out, whether it's a chronic stress pattern or it's a persistent tension that's in the body, it sends signals in there. And when it does, the body literally creates pain and then inflammation, and then eventually the tissue just splints and shortens up in that area and protects it. And as it protects it, then all of a sudden you have restricted range of motion, and then of course the circulatory system is congested, and then it leads to pain and validation on the pain, and then that slowly changes your lifestyle, right? It boxes you in, and you get this fixed belief system that you can only move from here to here, or you can only do so much, and that impairs your dysfunctions in there.
Absolutely.
But what's really incredible about the therapy is that when you go through these steps where it's pain, and then you have the inflammation, and then the shortening of this tissue, this scar tissue, we go in there and we blend, lengthen it, and then we unwind that back to its natural shape again. And then it releases the restricted movement, and then of course that changes everything. The circulatory system is now, you got deep blood flow going back in there, and then the pain has disappeared, and the emotion is now open to the possibilities. So your fixed belief system now is expanded to saying, well, I can turn my head now that way, or I can move my back this way. And then you become dynamic, and then you thrive as a human being.
Absolutely. So Glenn, we actually have a clip of someone that you taught, because Glenn is the master educator to Soma Flow therapy. She's working with someone who had a powerful emotional release that was captured on video. Can we share that?
Yes, to see what Corinne can do. She is a a master therapist, and she's world renowned.
Wonderful. Here's the clip.
Even though I had slowly started to come to terms with what had really happened to me and other women, when you're confronted with the reality of what you were asking people to do and what you were inviting them into, the realization that I was capable of that was so disturbing, because I had to remind myself that I wasn't a monster. And I had to sit with myself and stare at the ceiling and go like, do I even know who I am?
Open your eyes and realize that you're here now. You're not there. Open your eyes. It's right here.
This feels like a lot of heat.
That's releasing.
So that clip of Corinne working on India really is a perfect description of how you release emotions, trauma, physical, all of it. And I recommend, if you can fly, if you can drive, plane, train, whatever, come see Glenn in Las Vegas. He has taught other people. They're in other states. Do you want to mention where people can go?
Yeah, there are other therapists out, not many of them, but there are other therapists out there. They're master therapists. We have Hemant DeVault, he's in Colorado.
Okay.
And Corinne, of course, is in New York. And then we also have Dana Hubbard, who is actually in California.
Okay, so you have all the major cities. Get to one close to you, because it will change your life if you suffer from chronic pain. We'll make sure to get you all the information on the website, to Glenn and his contacts as well. And now, can I get a treatment?
Yes, absolutely.
Awesome.